Hi everyone and happy Friday. So today's WellyBelly talk is a little bit late because I just had an interview on Instagram and I had some things going on this morning, but I wanted to make sure that I popped on. And today I wanted to talk about the 12 days challenge that we're doing, 3 tips for creating healthy habits, and then also some really fun announcements and things coming up at the beginning of the year. Let me see if I can adjust this a little bit there. That's a little bit better. So welcome everybody to today's WellyBelly Talk. If you are new here, my name is Kylene Terhune. I am the CEO and founder of My Balanced Biome, which is a health coaching service for women struggling with digestive complaints. And I work with women all across the country virtually, and we do this through functional lab testing, nutrition, and lifestyle changes. I'm also the co-founder of Empower Her, a 12-week program that focuses on gut and hormone health. And that is launching again in 2021, and we're revving up for that, so we're really excited. We just wrapped up the last round, and it was just so much fun, and women saw such amazing results. So we can't wait to bring you Empower Her 2021. So I'm so excited that you guys have been so involved in the 12 Days to Christmas challenge. I hope that it's fun for you, like it's been fun for me to create these posts. My goal was, let's refocus on the simple stuff, right? Because sometimes we know what to do and we don't do it, but when we do it in a group setting or a challenge or a fun way, or there's a giveaway involved, right? Like we all know that we need to drink our water. But so many of us don't drink enough water every day, or we forget, or we don't get in the habit, or we just don't feel like it, or whatever. Or we're in the habit of drinking something else and we need to refocus on the water, right? And so this challenge is really about reminding us, like, what are the small, doable things that we can incorporate that really impact our health in the long term? And they are small, but they do have an impact when we're consistent with them. And that's the thing, is that results, it doesn't always take like the super dramatic thing to get results. Results come from small changes plus time plus consistency. So these are the small changes that you can make, and that's what we've been talking about in the 12 Days Challenge. So I hope you've been having fun. The giveaway is coming next week, so make sure you're keeping track of your points, that you are keeping track of the bonus challenges, and that you're following the directions for what the challenges actually are. So sometimes I ask you to post a video. Sometimes you can comment underneath. But whatever it is, if it's the daily challenge, you get 1 point for it. So just make sure you review the rules and are keeping track appropriately. If you have any questions, let me know. All right, so let's jump into today's WellyBelly topic. So we can make your belly well coming into the new year, right? So 3 tips for creating healthy habits, because that's what we're trying to do here, is time plus consistency, right? And that's what a habit is, and that's what gets results. So the first thing, and it might sound really obvious, but I'll go into it a little bit. The first thing is to make a commitment, okay? So a lot of times when we say we want to accomplish something, we say that and we sort of want it, but we're not willing to actually commit to it. And what does that involve? A commitment, if you're really committed to something, that means that you are willing to do the hard things. So I'll just give an example. Give maybe a couple examples, but let's talk about gluten is a great one, okay? Because there's a lot of emotional resistance that people have when it comes to being gluten-free, okay? So let's just use that as an example. If you are making a commitment towards your health, and one step to get there is to go gluten-free, and then you start making excuses like, I'm in this situation, or this person is making it difficult for me, or I went out to eat an XYZ, like those are excuses. And what an excuse is a lack of commitment. Okay, and this is not to be judgmental. This is just to kind of think through things because, you do you. But if it's your goal and you have committed to the goal, then you will find a way to make it happen. If you have not committed to the goal, then you'll have an excuse as to why you're not making it happen. Okay, so I could go through every single one of those things and say, this is the excuse. Okay, well, this is the solution, right? Like there's always a solution if you're actually committed to the goal. Same thing with, we could take another example. Well, drinking water is a great one. Let's just do that. We could do it with sleep. We could do it with whatever we want. Just pick one. Water. Well, I'm not good at drinking water. I don't like the way water tastes. or I get distracted at my work, right? I posted on day one this long list of things that we can do to overcome all of those objections, right? We can set timers in our phone. We can put rubber bands on our wrists. We can get containers that have markings that we have to drink it by a certain time of day. You keep it in eyesight when you are on the computer or at work, all of these different things, right? So the number one thing, the number one tip for creating a healthy habit is to actually make a commitment. Because here's the thing, if you have not been consistent with your goal, then you were not committed to it. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not trying to be judgmental. I am just saying if you set a goal and you're not achieving it, it's because you're not consistent. And if you're not consistent, it's because you're making excuses. And if you're making excuses, it's because you don't actually have a commitment to that outcome. Because a commitment means that you will do X, Y, Z no matter what. Like a marriage commitment, right? Oh, I'm sorry, I saw a really cute guy today. I cheated on you. No, I'm committed to my husband. There are no excuses. Okay? So I don't know why we don't view health that way. But it goes into every aspect of our lives. If you make a decision and you're truly committed to it, you see it through. And a lot of times we're better at doing that when other people are involved, right? But we'll cheat on ourselves. We'll cheat on our health. We'll cheat on our goals. We'll cheat on what we think we want. But if we had to do it for, let's say, our kids, or our pets even, or our spouses or whatever, then there's no excuse. I will get this done. I will help them. I will do this. I'm committed to this, right? So you need to take that level of commitment to yourself, because a commitment means that you'll get it done no matter what. So that's the first thing for creating a healthy habit, is you have to actually be committed, and committed means seeing it through. This also includes a little bit of identifying. So if you have a history of making these goals and not seeing them through and creating excuses and all that kind of stuff, then part of making a commitment for you this time may include identifying and assessing your history so that you can identify self-sabotaging behavior or self-limiting beliefs. Because if you have a history of self-sabotage, then you need to go back and identify the triggers. And if you have a self-limiting belief that says, I'm not worthy to accomplish this, or I don't actually believe that this is possible for me, then subconsciously you will self-sabotage your ability to actually do that. And then that commitment goes away because of that subconscious belief. So if you have a history of this type of pattern, you've really got to dig into that aspect of it. And the mental emotional plays a tremendous role in these types of things. All right, so that's tip one. That kind of covered a lot. Okay. Tip number two is to actually set a goal. So we have to make the commitment, first of all, that we're going to actually see this through. And the second thing is to, we want to set the goal. And this involves a couple steps as well. We want to write it down, okay? And that we got to put it out there. And you probably want to get some accountability for it so that you're not the only one that knows. So don't keep it in your head, first of all. You want to actually put it on paper, or put it on a board, or your refrigerator, or a vision board, or whatever it is. You want to write down whatever the goal is, big goal, small goal, medium goal. And then you also want to get some accountability for it. And then the third thing, and this is the third step, the third tip to creating a healthy habit that's going to last, is you make the commitment no matter what. You're going to do it. You set a goal. And then the third thing is to create the steps to achieve the goal. And this is, I think, where a lot of people kind of, we miss the boat on this one a little bit. So we say, okay, let's wait. It's almost the new year. So let's take weight loss as an example. I'm going to lose 20 pounds. And then nobody writes down the steps to accomplish that, right? Well, then we're not going to do it, because if we don't have the movement in place, if we don't have the mindset in place, if we haven't addressed self-limiting beliefs, if we don't have the right nutrition support, if we don't have the accountability, those are all the steps, right, that it takes to accomplish a significant goal like that. And if we don't write those down, then we're going to get stuck, right? So let's think of another one. Okay, sleep is another great one. I mentioned that earlier. Okay, so I am committed that in the next 3 months, I'm going to train my body to reach this goal, which is resetting my circadian rhythm and sleep 8 to 9 hours and feel rested so that I have more energy to hang out with my kids, that I have energy to get through the workday, that I have energy to cook a healthy dinner at night. Okay, so you just committed no matter what, that's going to happen. which probably means that you're gonna have to say no to some things occasionally, right? Maybe you have to say no to a late night movie, or you have to say no to staying up past a certain time or whatever, right? There's some boundaries that have to be set with commitments. And then you set the goal, which is by this date, I'm going to accomplish this. I'm going to sleep this well. And you also set the motivation there. I'm going to do this because it's going to help me feel better and it's going to help me accomplish all these different things. All right, well, how are you going to do that? Well, we talked about a bunch of different sleep tips, right? You make your room really dark. And you make all these little changes and habits. You cool down your house at night. And let me tell you guys, if you haven't done that, it makes the biggest difference. I cannot sleep if it's too warm. In fact, I fell asleep last night and I woke up like 20 minutes later, 15, 20 minutes later, and realized that I hadn't turned the heat off, and so it was too warm. I had to go turn it off so the house could cool down so I could have a good night's sleep. Makes a huge difference. So then you make the list. You say, okay, well, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. And maybe you don't do it all overnight. Maybe it doesn't do even in a week. But you set this goal, hey, in 3 months from now, I'm going to be getting amazing sleep. I've committed that that's what's going to happen. I have my reasons and my goals and my why this is going to happen. Okay, so I've got to do these in order to accomplish this. Okay, so those are the 3 tips. You got to make the commitment. That is huge. If you've had a history of not accomplishing goals, reassess the level of commitment that you're having there. And again, of course, there are always exceptions. There are people, and a lot of times this is the people that work for me. They're the most committed people. They do literally everything right. They never break the rules, and they're still not seeing results. That's when maybe it's time to go to the next level. Do some testing, work with a practitioner, see what is maybe hindering your body from healing, hindering you from getting the results. But if that's not you and you've identified a pattern of, quitting or dropping off or not accomplishing, and you can identify that there are some things that you could have done, then that's where you go back to that, assess the commitment level. Make sure you set a really clear goal. Make sure you know the why behind the goal. Usually in order to feel that commitment level and to achieve a goal like this, a health goal, you have to have some sort of emotional level of your why in order to motivate you on those days that are difficult and to keep that level of commitment. And then the third thing is help yourself out by writing a list of things to help you achieve that. It could be step by step. It could be a checkoff list. It could be, I'm going to do this first and then this, and then I'm going to move on to this, kind of like exercising. I'm going to start with 2 pounds, then 5 pounds, and 8 pounds, right? Whatever it is that you think is going to help you achieve that goal. And then if all else fails, you are somebody that does everything right. You're somebody that follows all the rules and does all the things, and you're still having gut problems, you're still having fatigue, you're still having brain fog, you're having weight loss resistance, you're having constipation, all these things, maybe that's time to work with a practitioner. And that's where my balanced biome comes in. That's where I work with people one-on-one. That's where functional lab testing comes in. So just kind of keep that in the back of your mind. Those are the 3 tips for creating healthy habits. Let's talk about some super cool, fun things that are coming down the road. So first of all, next week is the giveaway. Super excited. I shared that Thieves is one of the things that is in the box. I have lots and lots of other fun things, including one of my favorite brownie mixes is going to be in the box. It's basically going to be a box of my favorite things, my favorite healthy things. And so that giveaway is going to be next week before Christmas. So get excited about that. And don't forget, you have plenty of time to participate. If you are just now joining us and seeing that there is a giveaway happening, you can go back. Every challenge that has been posted, you can go ahead and do it and catch up on the points, keep track of the points. Make sure you watch the video about how to do that. And remember that inviting friends to the Facebook group, and if they choose to participate, that gets you 10 points per friend as well. So that's a pretty easy way to share some of the health with the community, get some accountability doing this as fun, and then boost your own points towards the giveaway as well. So that's number 1. Number 2, in January, there are a bunch of things that are coming down the road in January. So I'm just going to share them really quickly with you. January 1st, WellyBelly Talk. So we're taking next week off for Christmas. But the week after, January 1st, we are going to talk about moderation. So does it work? Does it not work? In what situations is it appropriate? In what situations may it actually hinder your health? I'm going to break it down on the January 1st WellyBelly Talk. So I hope you get excited about that. January 8th, Sophie, my business partner in Empower Her, will be on the WellyBelly Talk with me, and we're going to be talking about weight loss myths. So, what are some things that people are typically, focusing on for weight loss, and why do they not work? So what are these big myths that are out there that are hindering people from actually achieving their weight loss goals? And we're gonna talk about that. Then on January 16th, this is actually a Saturday. It's not a WellyBelly talk. Sophie and I are creating a workshop. This is actually an interactive way to work with us for 2 hours on a Saturday. And it is going to be just amazing. We were planning through it today, and we were talking about it. We're going to talk about the gut hormone mood connection. So if you've ever struggled with anxiety, depression, mood swings, all of these different things, we're going to talk about how they're all connected, why they're all connected, and of course, what you can do about them. This is going to be interactive. It's going to be a workshop. You're actually going to get things done in that 2 hours with us so that you can identify things that you can change. You can really kind of work through and identify maybe what's happening, what's going on in your body. And it's going to be just awesome. It's going to be super fun. So just wanted to throw that out there. We haven't started advertising it yet. We haven't started releasing tickets for that yet, but that is coming down the road. So just tuck that away, January 16th. It's in 10 to noon on EST. Put it in your calendar, and that will be announced shortly after Christmas. So a lot of really exciting things coming down the road. If you have questions or topics or things that you'd like to be covered in these types of environments, just let me know. Drop a comment below if you're watching this live or on the replay. And of course, let me know if you have any questions. I'm happy to answer them. But I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your weekend. And I hope you're enjoying the 12 days to Christmas. I will talk to you soon. And don't forget, the giveaway is next week. So make sure you are checking all of the posts, seeing all of them, and then keeping track of your points. All right, have a great weekend, guys. Talk to you soon.